This is Gay DePiro, DePirio
Gay DePerio.
of Orange County. So tell us about your experience. Were you born here in Orange County?
I was born in the Philippines.
Okay.
And I came here legally, had to wait my turn, and then we were here 5-6 years, and then we applied for citizenship.
Okay, so how long did you have to wait again?
We had to wait 5 years. You have to be here legally 5 years, and then you apply for citizenship.
Now, when you came from the Philippines, now people talk about people cross the border or they come. How did you get here?
We came here because my dad was in the U.S. Navy,
Okay.
but still, when we came here with a visa, with a green card, we still had to wait 5 years to apply for American
Even though your
citizenship.
father served in the military.
Yes, my dad, well, we're from the Philippines, which was a U.S. territory.
Okay.
And so we were not automatically U.S. citizens. My dad was recruited in the late 1950s into the U.S. Navy. So he did a lifetime service for the U.S. Navy. So when we were able to join him in the island of Guam, and then here, when we came to California, then we applied for citizenship.
Got it. You had to wait 5 years. And how long?
California.
And then you applied. How long did you have to wait after that?
You don't remember, maybe a year, but you still had to take a test. Still had to study the U.S. history. You had to understand how America worked, the three branches of government, the Supreme Court, all that, because you
Wanna
had to
sit
be
down?
tested.
Have a seat, please. Please have a seat. Make it easy for you.
Okay.
And okay, so you had to wait a year after even applying, so it's like really frustrating. Oh my gosh. Okay, so what's been going? Okay, so civics was part of what you had to study
Yes,
in order.
they give you a pamphlet that you have to study because you have to take a test to become an American citizen. You have to prove you can write English, you have to prove that you can speak English, and you have to be able to answer in English, and you had to answer the test that was in the civics pamphlet that they give you.
Now, where did you take your oath? I'm just curious.
Dorothy Chandler Pavilion at Los Angeles, and it was a room full of people. After you go through the interview, then everybody gets back into the room and you all stand, and it was the most solemn. It was a very exciting moment for me to be included among all those people in Dorothy Chandler
Wow.
Pavilion, because when you swear an oath to become a U.S. citizen, it's like you're giving your honor and you're giving your respect and great reverence to this country that's allowed you to come in and has approved your citizenship. That's why naturalized citizens are very, very patriotic, especially the ones that come here from third world countries, because we come from third world countries. We know what it's like to not have luxuries in it, like running water, flushing toilets, things like electricity, things like hot showers. These things are luxuries that Americans do not know that other people in third world countries do without.
So, this issue of learning civics, you made a comment about what's going on in American schools and tying out with civics. What's going on?
Yes, so they remove civics. I think one of the ways that they are going to destroy this country is they're going to remove your ability to respect and love this country. They have removed civics. They're removing crosses from all of the, like LA had a cross and it's sealed, they removed that. They are indoctrinating a lot of the schools into the left, the radical left.
Okay.
And so that's kind of dangerous, because what we'd like to bring back to the schools is love of this country.
Yes, and in some places they're like removing the Pledge of Allegiance.
The Pledge of Allegiance. You know, when I was going to school in Guam, every single day we were, before we go into our classrooms, we stand around the flagpole and everybody has to say the Pledge of Allegiance every single day.
Wow.
And it was just an honor. And this is when I was in grade school, and it was part of being an American, and it was part of being...
Hold on a sec. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Part of being an American was to say that Pledge of Allegiance every single day before you went to class.
We
And
really
that
need to do that,
really
yeah.
instilled a pride of America for me. And then as I learned about America and what our forefathers had gone through, and all of the people that have been dying for this country and for the liberty and the freedom, we need to protect these freedoms, because this is a republic. And we have freedom of speech, but we want to protect that freedom of speech and not be censored. We don't advocate violence. We don't advocate hate. We just want to protect your constitutional rights.
So you've gotten some pushback from people because of your support for President Trump. What have you had to deal with?
I was really surprised when I had made a very mild post in 2016 because it was Hillary or Trump, and so I had to do what I could to make sure that Hillary was not going to win. So I started to volunteer at the phone banks, and I met a lot of Christian people there, and we're still in touch today, and we're still very, very active because we want to stand for what this country believes. We stand for our freedom, we stand for our rights, we stand for life, we're pro-life, but we really want to preserve our Constitution, and we want a small government, and we want individual responsibility, but
Yes.
we want autonomy. So we don't want big government breathing down our neck and controlling us.
I understand you've been called anti-immigrant.
I have been speaking at city councils against SB 54. And so a lot of people were yelling at me, calling me KKK.
Oh my God.
And white supremacists, anti-immigration, racist. And it's the opposite. We are just trying to preserve our Constitution.
You are an immigrant, for crying out loud.
Yes, I am an immigrant. I am pro-legal immigration. I'm not for illegal immigration. Let me tell you why. Because the resources in this country is not, it's limited. We don't have a limitless amount of resources, and it's going to run out. And I know that people have wanted to give all free medical care and also to pay off everybody's student loans. But where's that money going to come from? Our resources are finite. Let me give you an example. I was a nurse at a trauma center, and everybody who comes into the emergency room gets care. We don't turn people away. It's the most compassionate thing and the humanitarian thing to do is to take care of these people. But our resources run out. So for many years, our nurses couldn't get any cost of living raises, and we continued to work. We continued to help these people. And then after many years of this, the hospital had to decide we could possibly shut down our trauma center. And this is one of the best trauma centers in the county.
Where was it?
In Orange County.
What was the name of the hospital?
UCI Medical Center.
Oh, it's still open, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
So do we close our emergency room because our resources are dropping? So I used to take care of people that were pregnant women were brought into California from Mexico, and the vans would drop these women off at the different medical centers so that they could have their babies, and they were taken care of, okay? And then I took care of this lady, and she had a brain tumor, and she came to our hospital, and I was taking care of her. She told me that in Mexico she was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and her doctor told her and her family to put her in the car and take her to California where we would take care of her, and we did. So she ended up in my hospital.
Say that again?
She ended up at my hospital, and she did have a brain tumor, and we did take care of her because that is what we do. But where are we going to have the resources to continue doing that? Now, I don't mind taking care of people, but eventually our hospital had to think about closing down our trauma center. We didn't, because we just had to lay off like 11 respiratory therapists. Nurses couldn't get raises. People got laid off. That's so that we could keep our trauma center open, so that we could keep our doors open. We took care of all of the gang shootings, the stabbings, the pregnancy.
What do you see as a long-term? What's the long-term solution to this? What do you want to see happen? Just to ask as an aside.
What the long term is. The short term is we have to secure the border. We have to vet the people that are coming in.
Okay.
So we have to close the border. We are a country that is supposed to be allowed to protect every country protects.
Yeah. Why is it that the United States there's a different standard?
We have to protect our resources, and we have to vet people who are coming in. We're not saying no immigration. We're saying come in legally, so that we can, vet who you are, know that you have resources, that you won't be a drain. When we came here, we were not a drain to society. When we came here, we sponsored my uncle's family. They stayed in our house, and we took care of them. It says that whoever sponsors people in this country, they are responsible for their medical care and everything that they need. You have have to provide for them.
They couldn't become a public
No.
dependence.
And you know what? There's pride in actually working hard and saving your money and accomplishing your American dream. But you know, the sense of entitlement and coming in here free, it's going to drain our resources.
Yes. Let me. I'm gonna